Hello everybody, it is John who's fiddling with his glasses. Look, I had Elven Song, I believe, commented on my YouTube channel about, of all things, Ravenloft, I believe. And I thought, haven't talked a lot about my role-playing material. Well, I have, but I've sort of blanketed it by going, look, here's my D&D collection. So I thought, look, I'll pick out little bits and pieces. And one of them that cropped up was Ravenloft. And it all started with I6. Now, you'll find in the second part of this video, for me, it started with a publication from Judges Guild called Teagle Manor. So if you haven't seen Teagle Manor, try and find yourself a copy, because for many of us in the early days of roleplay, Teagle Manor was, I guess, the quintessential haunted house. And it was almost up there with, I guess, the Tomb of Horrors in some respect. Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking perhaps a little too nostalgically with regards to how I view some of the dungeons, or maybe the fact I was just a bit of a prick, shall I call myself, when I was running many of my adventures in those days. But yes, but look, here we go. Let's go have a look at my small collection of Ravenloft from this humble beginning all the way through to the coffin box. So here we go. Well, this video is going to be looking at Ravenloft, and I'm going to be looking at, well, my collection of Ravenloft. Now, it is not complete, so I will state that. However, it will go from the very beginning. Now, for me, what started all of this off was, so let's have a quick look. I believe that Ravenloft had let's have a look. Where's its copyright? Do we have a copyright? Where's the, normally they have, yes, here we go, 1983. So 1983, I7, Ravenloft, which was by Tracy and Laura Hickman, who we all know for a lot of work they did for Dungeons and Dragons in the day. Ravenloft came out I6. However, for me, what kicked off the, I guess, the horror was this little gem, Teagle Manor. Now, I don't know if too many people will remember Teagle Manor, but it was produced by Judges Guild. And it was produced in, I believe, 1977. There you go, 1977 was Judges Guild and Teagle Manor. And it was a manor house on the sea coast, and its family was, yes, it was sort of the cursed house at the time. So they had all sorts of things happening here. There were vampires in here. This was sort of the quintessential house that everybody had to play in at the time, and that was for us. And there was our, I can't remember which of the family members might have been this particular vampire, but it was for me the start. So there was our Teagle. So you had the Teagle Manor outline for the players. They had Teagle Manor surrounds, and then there was the actual Teagle Manor the actual map itself, which as you can see was quite extensive. And then we had the surrounds of Teagle Manor, that including the little village of Teagle Village. So that, I think, to me seemed to be the precursor for Ravenloft. So for me, yep, here we go. I've got my Ravenloft. It's in fairly good nick considering, from 1983. And of course the thing that stood out in those days was were the maps, were the dungeon. As you can see, it was a rather nice sort of three-dimensional look to the castle. So it was very nice, and it was, you know, for the time, what it was. I had no problems with it. I know that a lot of people today don't like the style that it was produced in, but as a dungeon master, you've got the material that you need to run with. Look, honestly, if you need people to hold your hand and tell you how to run things, then you're a very, very poor dungeon master if you have to have everything spelt out for you. So that was I6. Then along came 2nd edition, and here we go, the box set, and in there we got the tarot cards, and then there was the books that, as you can see, my books are very nice still. They're in good condition. I was really surprised that they did the time, and yes, very happy with that. And then there is, what have we got here? Oh, some posters. So there's a Ravenloft poster, which I won't try to undo, but that's essentially the cover art. Then we've got the map of the realm. So yeah, so the realms are there. So I'm quite pleased. So it's in good nick for its time. So that's my Ravenloft material for 2nd ed. So it's in good nick. Then along came 3rd ed, 3.5 or die 20, the die 20 system, and we got this one, which was Expedition to Castle Ravenloft, which according to it, on the back here, said that it was an update to the original 1st edition Ravenloft module, and it essentially does that. It more or less updates everything that's in there to 3.5, and it's a nice set out. Follows the same sort of, in many cases, the did I just pass them? Did I? The three-dimensional dungeon layout for the, I think that was further back here somewhere, I think. Where do we find them? Now I'm passing it and can't find it. Ah, being a liar, aren't I? Yes. I did spot them. I guess I'm going so quickly that... oh, look, they're... it's all very nice anyway, the artwork. So, you know, again, my books are nicely kept, so play that with this if you need be. Then the Sword and Sorcery people produced Ravenloft. So then we had the Denizens of the Dread, which was really good because I love... I tend to work with undead, and they tend to populate my worlds more than the living. So I really liked the fact that I ended up with a whole heap of extra critters that I could run. So I had Ravenloft Denizens of Denizens of Dread, and then there was the core rulebook for Ravenloft, which gave you, I think, basically the realms and whatnot. I honestly can't recall, to be honest. I'd have to go back and have a really good look again. So it looks like they've got, defines the classes and stuff that's in there. So I'm pleased. I've got those. Then they did a the Sword and Sorcery people did one for 19th century where they've done adventures on Gothic Earth, which was interesting. But yes. Then we jump through to the current edition of 5th Ed, so Curse of Strahd. So it's interesting. I've yet to play it. It's sitting on my list of maybe I might get to it. I've sort of lost interest in 5th Ed, to be honest. So it's sitting there. Then, as a bit of a completionist and thanks to friends, I got this coffin box edition, which quite frankly is overpriced for what it contains. It is nice what's in there, but look, to be quite honest, for the price, look, all they gave you is a damn soft cover. You know, they could have at least given you a hard cover in there. So I'm grumpy about that. Yep, okay, so you got maps and a few other bits and pieces, but look, it is very little for what the box, you know, for the depth of the box. They could have, you know, literally a third of the box size is all you'd have needed. For what? It's wasted space. It really is. It really is wasted space. So you've got a Tarokka deck, and then you've got some postcards or something. So look, it's overpriced gimmetry from Wizards, and I will say that, and I am not unabashed to say that that's what it is. But you know, okay, it's in my collection. I paid very little for this. But that is, I guess, my collection of Ravenloft that started all the way back in 1983 with i6. So, if you've played any of these editions, let me know, because I really do like the Gothic horror. So, till next time, signing off, the Honourable John.